years maybe, or maybe even here for the first time. Yeah, raise your hand just so we can see you, just to say welcome, welcome to you. Benjamin, it's so nice you're here. So this is our synagogue's living room. This is where so many things happen: b'nai mitzvah, weddings, funerals, baby namings. And of course, this room, this sanctuary, has been the sixth graders' classroom all year as well, where they have spent 2 hours every Wednesday afternoon. And part of what they have done is to prepare for this service. And between the fall of 2023 and the fall of 2024, these people will become b'nai mitzvah right here in the sanctuary as well. And so we envision this moment when we gather for our annual sixth grade takeover Shabbat. We envision this moment when we start to see them as the people they are becoming, the adults they're becoming, the teens they're becoming, the leaders they're becoming. And this is a joyful, joyful, joyful night. I just feel like, can we begin with just a round of applause for our sixth grade class? Woo! And that's even before they do anything. So without further ado, I present to you Shir Tikvah's sixth grade superstars.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Hello.
Welcome to the sixth grade takeover Shabbat.
We've worked hard all year to be able to lead tonight's service.
Please join us in song and prayer. We begin on page 49 with Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem leShalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Barchuni leShalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And in addition to our sixth grade class, we have this Shabbat's bat mitzvah person here with us as well. And Ella McCarthy, we are delighted to call you up with your family to light our Shabbat candles. And we turn to page 1 in our prayer books. And if you don't have a prayer book, all the words will be on our screens, thanks to our amazing tech team back there. v'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlek ner shel Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Mazel Tov. Claire, Emmy, and Oliver.
Please turn to page 2.
Hine Matov, fourth song down.
Hine matov u'manayim shevet achim tam yachad. Hine matov u'manayim shevet achim tam yachad. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day.
How good it is,
How good it is,
sweet it is,
how sweet it is to be together on this day. Hinei matov u'manayim shevet achim tam yachad. Hinei matov u'manayim shevet achim tam yachad.
how sweet it is,
How sweet it is to be together on this day.
how good it is,
How good it is,
sweet it is,
how sweet it is to be together on this day. Hinei matov u'manayim shevet achim tam yachad. Hinei matov u'manayim shevet achim tam yachad.
Please turn to page 5.
for Shir Ladonai, on the top 4 lines.
Shiru Ladonai, Shiru Shir Hadash, Shiru Ladonai, Kol haaretz. Shiru Ladonai, Baruch Hu Shemo, Basaru miyom leyom Yeshuato. Shiru Ladonai, Shiru Shir Hadash, Shiru Ladonai, Kol haaretz. Shiru Ladonai, Baruch Hu Shemo, Basaru miyom leyom Yeshuato. Shiru Ladonai, Shiru Shir Hadash, Shiru Ladonai, Kol haaretz. Shiru Ladonai, Baruch Hu Shemo, Basaru miyom leyom Yeshuato. Basaru miyom leyom Yeshuato.
Please turn to page 7 for Or Zarua. 4th line down. Or Or Zarua, Lat Sadik, Ul Yisrael Lev Simha. Or Zarua, Lat Sadik, Ul Yisrael Lev Simha. Or Zarua, Lat Sadik, Ul Yisrael Lev Simha. Ul Yisrael Lev Simha. Or Zarua, Lat Sadik, Ul Yisrael Lev Simha. Ul Yisrael Lev Simha. Or Zarua, Lat Sadik, Ul Yisrael Lev Simha. Or Zarua, Lat Sadik, Ul Yisrael Lev Simha.
Please turn to page 7.
For the wonder of life.
Far right column.
Singing new song to God. Give thanks for the wonders God has performed.
When we are trapped in narrow spaces, yet find strength to move forward with confidence and trust.
When we could look the other way, yet take a chance to reach out to one another with openness and compassion.
When we experience great pain or sorrow, yet find light in the midst of darkness.
When we recognize the wonder of life, ordinary moments become sacred.
Please turn to page 8 for Romaine Mill.
3 lines from the bottom.
Turn to pages 11 and 12 for Lachadodi. Sing stanzas 1, 2, and 5 on page 11. And then when we turn the page, we'll finish with the last verse, verse 9 on page 12. And when we get to that verse, I invite you to stand and to face the door of the sanctuary as if we are welcoming in the spirit, the joy, the happiness, the peace, and the rest of Shabbat.
Remaining standing, we turn to face the front of the sanctuary, turning in our prayer books to page 15.
We're delighted to ask our teens that went on the service trip to Houston to come up to lead the Chatzi Kaddish, Ben and Jasper, and anyone else who would like to join them, you are most welcome.
Please turn to page 16.
On the far right corner. Dear one, Shekinah, holy name, when I call on the light of my soul, I come home. Dear one, Shekinah, holy name, when I call on the light of my soul, I come home. Dear one, Shekinah, holy name, when I call on the light of my soul, I come home.
Please join us in Roll into Dark.
Into dark, roll into light, night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light, night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light, night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light, night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light, night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light, night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, light to light, roll into dark, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light, night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light, night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light, night becomes day, day turns to night. Into dark, roll into light, night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light, night becomes day,
Please turn to page 17.
For the Shema.
Bottom of the page.
Maybe seated. We continue with Ve'ahavta on page 18. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha ve'hayu hademarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavcha hayom alevavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'beitecha u'lechtecha b'derech u'v'shofbecha u'v'kumecha u'kshartam le'ot al yadecha ve'hayu letotafot bein einecha u'ktabtam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha. We continue on page 24 lines down. Lema'an tizkeru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'eitem kedoshim le'Elohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim li'yot lachem le'Elohim Ani Adonai Elohechem. Page 21, and Ella, it is a joy to call you up to lead us in Micha Mocha.
Please turn to page 21.
For release us.
On the far right page.
Adonai, God of the outstretched hand, who brought our ancestors out of confinement in Egypt, release all those bodily confined for the pursuit of justice.
Release us from the prisons and calluses we have constructed around our hearts.
Release our hands from the shackles we have placed on them, and guide them to their work.
Release our minds from the deceptions in which they are imprisoned. Remove exhaustion from our eyelids and bodies. Release our spirits from terror and fear.
Renew us that we may be renewed. Set us on our journey to the land we are to enter.
All the sixth graders stand in front of the beam here.
Please join us in one day.
Please turn to page 25.
Far left.
Please rise for the honor. Invite you to use the words in the prayer book until page 31, but follow the words in your own heart, and please be seated when you are ready. turn to words of healing for our Misha Berach prayer. Page 130. And as a community, we send these healing thoughts, this healing energy to those in our community and to loved ones of ours who are in need of healing, of body or mind or spirit or mood. And after I read this list of people we're praying for in our community, I invite you to raise your hands and add names in your own heart to the list, to our prayers. So tonight as a community, we pray for the healing, wholeness of Eliza Sterngeyer, Pat Urich, Peter Feynman, Alina Klayman, Liliana Walheim Martinez. Continued prayers to Sue Gum and to Nan Owens, and we're so glad you're here tonight with us. Continued healing to you both. Marcy Terrio, who is recovering well from surgery. Diana Sanders, Riva Shapiro, who is also on the mend. To Diane Betcher, who is also recovering well from hip surgery. Brad Becker, Amaria Roberts, Kaylee Casas and baby Zay, Alan and Joanne Travis, Sonal Starr, Joyce B., Andy A., Paul P., Gloria, Nancy Alpert, Ayala Twat Hirsch Noel, Debbie Gilman, Neil Daniels Midman, Anya Kabel, Sue Boardman, Sarah Kianowski, Debbie Sachs Buteau, Stanley Roth, and Kathy Nath. And if there are names of loved ones you'd like to add, say their names aloud in the sanctuary, please raise your hand.
Monique Baum. My neighbor, Tom Tooley. Alice Rogers. Weinberg. Eduardo Vasquez. Sam Harris. Edna Jones.
All of these loved ones, let us join singing, praying for our sixth graders, the words that are on the far right-hand column of page 130.
Before us, help
Spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Invite all the sixth graders back on up to stand in front of the bema here.
Please turn to page 31 for Oseh Shalom.
Say shalom, Bimroma, Ruya se shalom aleinu, Ve'alkol Yisrael, Ve'imru amen. May the one who makes peace above, make peace descend on all of us, and Israel. Let us say amen. Say shalom, King of Zaman, Ruya say shalom aleinu, make peace descend on all of us, and Israel. Let us say amen. Let us say amen. Let us say
Please turn to page 25 for Let You Walk.
Near us on page 125.
to a place you do not know.
We are delighted to now call up all of you folks who went on the Houston service trip to tell us about your experience.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. It has been such a pleasure teaching the sixth graders this year. They are such an incredibly curious and spirited group, and it's just really been such an amazing year, and you were so incredible tonight. And I know many of you were so nervous, and you just did a beautiful job. So in addition to preparing for the service, we also were part of the Tikkun Olam Corps, and many of the sixth graders and their families volunteered monthly at either the dwelling place or Food Link, or some did both. And so we thought it only fitting to talk to you more about our service trip that we did to Houston last month for a whole week, where we rebuilt houses. And tonight we have our participants, my co-leader, Barry Glass, who are going to talk to you more about this trip. And I can honestly say, as both an educator and a parent who has accompanied both of my kids on these sorts of trips, that they are life-changing in so many ways. So I hope next time we go in 2025, you will all be old enough to go, and I hope you consider this as a possibility. So I'd like to introduce Barry Glass, who will tell you a little bit more about the history of Tikkun Olam and these types of experiences at Shir Tikvah.
Yeah, I just want to add a shout out to the sixth graders. It's really a joy to see you do what you've done and how well you've done it. And I would imagine your parents are felling, because as a congregation member, I'm felling for you as well. So really, you all did an awesome job. So my name is Barry Glass, and I've had the joy of launching and leading 8 service trips with Shir Tikvah to various parts of the country to help rebuild after people have suffered the devastating damage or loss to their home. And we started this in 2008 with a trip to New Orleans. And since then, we've rolled up our sleeves and gone to work, and in the spirit of Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel, taking a leap of action into actually working very hard for a week and helping someone reclaim their home. So since 2008, these 8 trips have really brought together adults, teens, and families as part of the Tikkun Olam Corps, but also as part of just our community building efforts. And I'm so glad to see so many sixth graders, because you're almost 14, right? Yeah, 11, 14, that's pretty close. So in a couple of years, you'll be eligible to do these trips, as Bailey said, and we hope to continue to do them. So on this particular trip, and Shir Tikvah has run a couple of different model trips, teens with a couple of chaperones, parents with their teenagers, and one adult-only trip. This trip was 5 teens with 5 parents and a couple of chaperones. We went to Houston, and the way that these service trips work is we partner with an organization on the ground like Habitat for Humanity. They take care of the service site, they get the tools, they have people to train us, and we provide the volunteers. There are some things that we don't do. We don't do electrical work, we don't do plumbing, we don't do roofs. That would be a little more excitement than what we would bargain for. But what we do, and like what we did this week, is we really brought this gentleman's home along many links along the chain of getting him back into his home after his house was flooded during Winter Storm Uri 2 years ago. So this gentleman had not been in his house for 2 years. So what I like to talk about these trips as we work hard and we play hard. So we put in a 6 or 7 hour workday and do the different tasks we're asked to do. And then we explore a different place in the evening, whether it's Houston or New York or New Jersey or New Orleans, the other places we've been to. We try to make it a cultural experience as well and do as much as we can to explore a new place and meet new people. and expand our comfort zones, expand who we know and where we've been. So I'm not going to talk about this particular trip, except it was awesome in the way that trips are awesome. These young folks really stepped up and really did whatever was asked of them. And I see there's some pictures up there, a lot of before and after pictures. It really is an inspiration to me to do these trips. And I hope that Shir Tikvah will continue to do these as part of our Tikkun Olam offerings to the community and to our young people. So I hope we can make these an annual or biannual trip. And I think, folks, I don't know if there's an order in which you're going to speak. However you want to do it. Oh, well, go ahead.
Okay. I hadn't really done any service projects before on this scale, and it was overall an enjoyable experience. I had a fun time exploring part of Texas that I hadn't been to much before, and I enjoyed all of the various activities we went to. We went to a little Mardi Gras celebration, which was fun. The work site was pretty nice overall. There was a lot of painting we had to do. I especially enjoyed painting the ceiling in the main room. I know that everybody got a chance to work on lots of different painting skills, especially edge trimming or wall painting with rollers. And I would probably do another service trip like this if I got the chance.
When I first got to Houston, I hadn't given much thought to the impact of what our work was going to do for this man that we were helping him return him to his home. I was really just open to learning new skills and seeing a new city. But once we got there, it was quickly put into perspective that there are a lot of difficulties in returning people to their houses after these disasters. Meeting this man's sister, Gloria, was very powerful. Seeing her smile and her appreciation for what we were doing made me really happy. The work was tiring, but SBP, the group we were working with, was very encouraging and very fun to work with. For example, each morning we had icebreakers where we would choose our spirit animals, or we talked about what we would shapeshift into. And it was just nice to get to know everybody a little better. And it didn't always feel like work with that. But in the end, I could use a little break from painting, but it was interesting to clean brushes and trays while trying to ration running water. That was interesting. But like Jasper said, I'd definitely be interested in going on another trip like this.
I'm Sherry. Okay, so I'd never been to Texas before ever, so I didn't really know that much what to expect, but going there for this trip definitely convinced me to go back. I'd go back in a heartbeat. Not only were the project leaders that we had from SBP, they were not only were they incredibly helpful, but they also instructed us in a very constructive way that let us be efficient but not overworked. And they were also some of the friendliest people that I'd ever met. They were so kind and so generous with their time and with their advice and everything. I think a lot of the lessons that I learned there I can take on to many other parts of my life. I also think they did an amazing job of making everyone feel like their designated job was super important, whether it was doing the teeny tiny things on the trim or the huge parts of doing insulation and that type of thing. And there was also options, once people had tried something, they could go back and do whatever they enjoyed the most, so that everyone was having a good time. One thing I'll say is don't underestimate how dirty you will probably get, because I did underestimate and it did not end well for me. So in combination with all these things and how wonderful SVP was, and particularly our project leaders in specific, like with Barry and Allison and Bailey, it made for just like such an enjoyable trip. Like they were great leaders, and yeah, it was great despite the early mornings. So.
I forgot to write a script, so I'm gonna ad-lib this, but yeah, I also have never been to Texas before this experience. It was very warm, but we were inside most of the time, so that was nice. And it was a nice change of pace. I was happy to get to wear shorts, even though technically I'm pretty sure we weren't allowed to, but I did anyway. It was really an enjoyable experience. I injured my wrist right before going, but that didn't stop me from doing most of the stuff. I just like I didn't want to like get on the high ladders, but thankfully Jasper did that, so it was fine. I don't know. It was fun. I liked trying, just going to a bunch of places. I think overall it was a really enjoyable experience. If there was one thing I didn't like about it, it's that the drive was so long. The Houston roads are very long, but it's fine. It meant that we got time to sit in the car and chat about other stuff, get to know each other. Because when we were on the work site, we were just doing our jobs. We didn't have much time to just sit around and talk. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Robin. I didn't write anything either, but I've never been to Texas or ever been on a service trip like this before, but it was just overall an incredible experience. This community of Shir Tikvah is so incredible, and it was amazing not only to go with my friends and my family from here and to get to do something as rewarding as helping someone come back to their home and seeing how important of a job that is and how difficult of a job it is, but to be able to work with the incredible people from SVP and just make new friends and learn lessons from them and get that new sense of community in a place I've never been before, doing something I've never done before, was incredibly rewarding. And every single second of waking up early and working for many hours and getting covered in paint was so worth it. I would absolutely do it again.
They did get some on the wall.
So Robin said that we do incredible and difficult things together in community. And we do. We stand up and celebrate with sixth graders who lead us in incredible prayers from a world so different from this world. And we put kids and their parents on planes and send them to Houston, led by Barry, fearlessly 8 times now. Keeps going back. I think glutton for punishment occasionally rings in my head, but time after time introduces our community and our families to what it means to do the work, and how challenging and beautiful that can be, and how rewarding it can be, and how life-changing it can be. And another thing we do in community, which is challenging and rewarding, is we take time to remember. We remember those who shaped our lives, who still continue in many ways to direct our paths, who we miss, who we name in community, and who we ask to be seen in our naming. And so tonight, when we are gathering and moving towards the end of this incredible thing that we do called Shabbat, this bringing together in community, celebration and joy and Kvelling was the term I think Barry used, which is a Yiddish term, which means you're so proud you sort of feel it in your guts. Yeah, that's where Kvelling, I think, mostly happens. Also the corners of your eyes. We remember. And we name those we remember. So if you're joining us digitally in our digital online community, we invite you to use the chat function of the technology you're using to join us to say your loved one's name and bring it into our community. We have, as a community, a list of those we are remembering. And then if you're here in this sanctuary and you'd like to say the name of someone you are thinking of, someone whose presence you feel, we'll ask you to raise your hand and indicate towards you so you can say that person's name aloud.
Tonight is the last night of Shloshim, the time of 30 days after the death of Beth Ann Colopy's beloved sister, Mary Ann Demers. Tonight is the yahrzeit of Daniel Knapp, beloved nephew of Ron Knapp, Harold Cohen, Clara Jacobson, Jeanette Collaget's mother, and Ferenc Chateau, Jeanette's uncle. And in this year of memory, remembered Henry Wolfson, Erwin Lebo, Helen Fine, Wynne Musgrave, Sue Papaneff McHugh, Bob Ruxon, Kay Ann Liss, and Duffy Brodsky. Raise your hand if you are observing a yahrzeit or if someone is just feeling very close to you.
Gerald Brodsky. My father, Jack Mann. My sister, Sheila.
For all those named, for those who have no one to say their names for them, we join our voices together, becoming one community of memory with the words of Mourner's Kaddish on page 44. I invite you to rise and body your spirit as you are able. Together we say, Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, ve'alma v'yivra pirutei v'yamlik malchutei, ve'chaya chon v'yom echon, u'chaye v'chol beit Yisrael, ba'gala u'bizman kariv v'yimru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'amei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitha'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudesha b'richu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata gamiran ve'alma v'imru amen. Yehei Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya, V'chaim Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael, V'imru Amen. Oseh Shalom V'mromah, Uya Aseh Shalom, Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Ve'al Kol Yoshvei Tevel, V'imru Amen. Zichronam Livracha, may their memories be a blessing. Together we say, you may be seated.
Just a few quick announcements before we get our sixth graders back up for a final prayer, final song. A mazel tov to you, Ella McCarthy, on your bat mitzvah this Shabbat, and to your family. We want to thank the Odin McCarthy family for sponsoring our oneg, which is waiting for us downstairs. And just sixth graders, so proud of you. Huge mazel tov to you for all of these months that we have worked on this service, just beautifully done. Barry and Allison, Abdu Glass and Bailey, that you lead these trips for our teams is just extraordinary. Thank you for sharing your experiences with us. Tomorrow morning, 10:30, there's Torah study right here in the building in the library. And at 7 p.m. tomorrow night, the Israel Committee is sponsoring a speaker who will be talking about cybersecurity with us. And if you have joined Shir Tikvah in the last 3 years, say since COVID began or right before COVID, there is a new-ish member brunch at the Ambrose School on Sunday morning at 9:45, and you are welcome to join us there. And at 2 p.m. right here in the Oneg room, the continuing series on Stephen Sondheim will be happening. I think it is in person only this week. And now, sixth graders, come on up. And Lily, come announce the page. Stand in front, right? You stand in front because we'll do Kiddush and Motzi. Right up.
Please join us on page 45 for Adon Olam.
Page 45, Adon Olam. One, two. Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem Yitzir Nira, Le'et Nasa V'Chetzovo, Azar Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam, Ve'acharei Kivod HaKol, Levado Yimot Nora Adon Olam, V'hu Haya, V'hu Hofeh, V'hu Yeh B'Tifara Adon Olam, Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem Yitzir Nira, Le'et Nasa V'Chetzovo, Azar Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam, V'hu Echad V'yein Sheni, La'am Shelo La'achziro Adon Olam, Ve'li Reishi, Ve'li Tachli, Ve'lo Ha'oz V'ha'nizra Adon Olam, Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem Yitzir Nira, Le'et Nasa V'Chetzovo, Azar Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam, V'hu Eli V'chaylo Ali, V'tzor Kami V'etzara Adon Olam, V'hu Nisi U'man Nosli, V'nakosi V'yom V'kra Adon Olam, Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem Yitzir Nira, Le'et Nasa V'Chetzovo, Azar Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam, Ve'yavdo Aviv Ruchi, Ve'et Isha Ve'achira Adon Olam, Ve'im Ruchi, Yaviyati, Adon Ali V'lo Ira Adon Olam, Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem Yitzir Nira, Le'et Nasa V'Chetzovo, Azar Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam. And let us say a quick Kiddush and Motzi, and we'll go downstairs and enjoy each other's company and the beautiful oneg that is downstairs. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei v'ri hagafen. And we have a specially made home-baked challah right here. Who made this? How beautiful it is. Well, butternut. Oh, butternut. Bakery made it. Thank you, Butternut Bakery. It is so beautiful. We will we'll slice it up and have it downstairs for you. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz Shabbat shalom, everyone. See you downstairs.